that hurt, you know? And I think that flicked this switch in me where I was like, okay, you, watch this.
You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it. If not, stay where you are.
And I just said, just shut up and let me enjoy this pain.
Suffering is the only way to the top. Pain is the only way to change. Obstacles are the only way to success.
Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Accept the pain. Smile at the pain. Embrace the pain.
You're in pain? Good. That means you're still alive. That means you're still in the fight. You want greatness without pain? That don't exist. If you ain't hurting, you ain't growing. Everybody want to win. Nobody want to suffer, but suffering is the tuition. You gotta pay in blood, sweat, and silence. The real ones don't cry about the process. They become animals through it. You think pain is punishment? Nah. Pain is the teacher. Pain shows you where to go, who to cut off, what to fix. The pain don't leave until it teaches you. So stop running from it. Feel it. Learn from it. Let it sharpen you like a fucking blade. And when it's all over, you won't be the same. You'll be better, stronger, unbreakable.
Pain is the gatekeeper of destiny. Pain is there to ask you one simple question. Do you really want to achieve your goals, or are you just a talker? Tell your pain wherever you want to go. Pain will build the stairway to the top.
And I fell back a lot. I fell back in this fucking hole of life. The second you think that you've overcome it, you climbed Everest, you're on that last hold, and life will say, not today, mother.
If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it.
You need to see bad things as a blessing, because they're the building blocks to make you the man you want to be.
If you can't handle pain, you don't want success. You gotta look at life when life knocks you down and says, this all you got? Is this it? I was born in the dark, shaped in the dark, molded by the dark. I will break you. You recycle your pain. You use your pain.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it.
Say, I'm going to live to tell the story. This too shall pass. I will remain. I'm not going to quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it. If you don't quit, you will win, baby. Just keep coming back. If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Half of life, man, is just showing up.
I couldn't give up. Homeless, I still couldn't give up. I'm one class shot, the PhD. I can't give up. Why? Because the value, what I put in too much. I'm giving too much. I sweat too much. I'm giving up sleep. I've given up friendship. I've given up so much stuff that I had to get back later. Why? Because the value, I put too much in it. What's it worth to you? What does it cost? What price have you paid for it? What has it cost you? And if it costs you something, then you better not quit until you get a harvest. You better not quit till it's fully developed. You better not quit in the midst of the process. I need you to speak of victory. It's gonna rain sometimes. I will. You're gonna feel discouraged sometimes. I will. No matter what the obstacle, I will. I must.
Live extreme and push your boundaries. Why? Simply because there will be no other time for you to do this.
So push. Just push past the fight. Push. Don't quit. Don't push. Push your way to success.
The only way you're going to get strength in your life is if you go through that hard moment, that tough moment. I wouldn't have a story if it wasn't for the sucky times in my life. I wouldn't have a story if it wasn't for me going through my depressed moments. So realize this. just because it's a chapter, it doesn't mean it's your whole story. So for me, I just understand that it's very important to embrace pain, to go through it, because I believe the foundation of all strength is pain.
Every day suffering, being broken, duct taping my feet up, stress fractures, shin splints, being broken. This is my new norm. And your mind says, if we're not broken, this ain't normal. You gotta be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher and tougher.
What's your pain threshold? Yeah, well, if it's real high.
Imagine if you could use pain as a fuel. Imagine if you could use the pain as a passport. Imagine if you could use the pain to push you, to condition you, to prepare you for the stages and the rooms you gotta walk into and the tables you gotta sit at and the stages you have to stand on. What if the pain can make you better? What if the pain could build muscle? What if the pain could cause you to reach higher, to leap further, to run faster? What if the pain could help you? What if all pain isn't hurt, but it's help? Give me more. Give me more opposition. Give me more pain. Because that's the stuff that turns us into champions. See the pain as a stage. See the pain as a plane. See the pain as an opportunity. You gave me an opportunity to reinvent myself. You gave me an opportunity to come out of my grave that you put me in. You left me for dead. I'm coming out alive. I'm coming out kicking. I'm coming out swinging. You left me, or I wouldn't overcome.
Suffer the pain of discipline, or suffer the pain of regret. Pain is my motherfucking friend. Embrace the pain. Love the pain. Come on in, pain. Have a motherfucking seat. Be comfortable. Sit your ass down. I'm the ball. Rep that shit. Rep that shit. Embrace the pain. Make love to the pain. And pain. Pain is my friend. I love it. I hunt for pain. Pain, you ain't looking for me. I'm looking for you. Rep that shit. Rep. 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 I love you, pain. Why do I love you? Because I know you're going to make me grow. I love that shit.
I want to do everything I said I'm going to do, so my appetite increases. It gets stronger every year. I want more every year. I want to do more every year. I want to help more every year. I want to be bolder. I want to be better. I want to be stronger every single year. Every single year, your appetite should go up. You should never get settled. You should never get settled. You should never get content. Every single year.
Want to be godly. What that scripture is saying is that you literally, that you can become godly through discipline. It says it right there in the scripture, that godliness comes by way of discipline. Not easy, not just because you feel like it, that sometimes you have to honor God in the grind.
I'm gonna make love to pain. I'm gonna destroy pain. I ain't afraid of you, mother. You, pain is afraid of me. You don't know who you fucking with, pain. I'm ready. I'm your match, mother. I'm your huckleberry. I'm here for it. Bring it, motherfucker. Bring the pain. Hit that. Hit that. Rep that. Rep that. Rep that. Rep. 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 Woo!
Every family deserves to have a winner. I think it should be you.
You're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way.
But you also have to disconnect, unplug average, and plug yourself into the mindset of a winner.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better.
And I'm telling you from the bottom of my soul, it is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. It's only a small percentage of population. Nobody gives a damn. And even if they do, what? You make a mistake, you zig when you should have zagged, you get clipped. So what? Everybody make mistake.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.
It's you against you. You against you. We have 80% more that we're not tapping into, because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you got to go through all of this.
There's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You got to have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you got to want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting on your ass, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
But I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dome. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we doing. You got skill and you got will. 2 total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride in that.
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things that are going to help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70%. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you want with these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend.
You find no answers in the light. None. It's too happy. It's too nice. And we don't need to be taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally to us. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there unless you put yourself.
The confidence comes from preparation. You know, so when the game's on the line, I'm not asking myself to do something that I haven't done thousands of times before, right? So when I prepare, I know what I'm capable of doing, I know what I'm comfortable doing, and I know what I'm not comfortable doing. Right? And so in those moments, if it looks like I'm ice cold or not nervous, it's because I've done it thousands of times before. So it's one more time.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they tired, that's when the real champions come out. That's when that real dog come out. Because if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat. Let them on the field. Have some heart.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're going to do it to try and be the best.
That if you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great. When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up. You say something about the greats, we find a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so fucking weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person. Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's got to push you. Somebody's got to give you a reward. Somebody's got to prod you. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dream to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort.
There are those of you who buy a new piece of tech every time a new one is released. Every new phone that comes out, you get it. Every upgrade, you get it. You are constantly upgrading your technology and you've not upgraded yourself.
You gotta level yourself up every single year, every single month, every single day. You should always be striving to do better than you did last time.
So many of you say, I want to be a millionaire. I want to graduate at the top of my class. But your value system says you believe in relaxing more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you'd rather party than become successful. Your value system says you're a consumer and not a producer. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change.
The secret is, make a plan, execute the plan, become obsessed with the plan, and make it your entire life from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed for 20 years. It's the day-to-day disciplines. It's the eating the meals, doing the workouts, doing the best you can in your career, doing the best you can for your family. Those are the things that are going to create your superpower so that you can go through life being an unstoppable force.
If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this, then follow that voice.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
Yep.
I could have been great.
If you want to know something about yourself, sit on your bed one night and say, what's one thing I'm doing wrong that I know I'm doing wrong, that I could fix, that I would fix? You meditate on that, you'll get an answer. And it won't be one you want, but it'll be the necessary one.
Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up. So, just a mentality, really.
If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just get up. Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. Move towards that challenge and go attack it.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
For me, anger was good. Anger was good because it was motivating. The more I could create an enemy, the more I wanted to go out and kill those guys.
Most things that never get done because they never get started. There is no perfect time to start. You got to start now with changing your life.
Stop sitting on the fucking bench and get in the motherfucking game. Let's make this the year where we stop that shit.
Years of mediocrity is what causes people to be bitter. If you want to get around bitter and complaining people, get around people who are not seeing much activity. They're bitter, they're complaining, they're cynical, and they're jealous because nothing is happening, because nothing is going on in their life. And if you want to stop that from happening to you, wake up in the bed and know what you're going after. Get up out of the bed with an agenda.
When you have an agenda, you don't spend time worrying about how you feel, because it doesn't make a difference how you feel. You woke up with something to do, and if you don't start changing your attitude, you will miss your altitude.
The problem is not the condition, it's a matter of discipline. There is no shortcut to excellence. You gotta force yourself to get up and get it done every day of your life. Commit yourself to executing on the plan on a daily basis, no matter what's going on around you. Stop hoping, stop wishing for great things to happen to you, and get up and work for them. Make them happen. Take full ownership of your time, of your mind, of your day. It is the struggle. It is the wrestling. It is the pulling. It is the trial. It is the temptation. It is the stumbling and falling and getting back up again. It is the aggravation and the intimidation that gives you foundation to create a legacy. It is worth it to look bad for a little while and come up looking good for a lifetime than to look good for a minute and come down in a flash. And in order to do that, I've got to become disciplined. I've got to go through some struggle. I've got to get used to suffering, because the lifestyle I'm building, it can't be instantly obtained. It takes that blood, sweat, and tears of commitment. I learn in the doing. I learn in the fight. My strength tolerance increases. My ability to handle pain increases. My wisdom increases. I become tougher. I become stronger. I become more and more of an unstoppable beast.
Look, whatever could be out there, I could have it.
Everybody thinks they're a loser. Every young person thinks they're a loser. At least a young person in the situation I was at. I didn't know I wasn't a loser until I started winning, until I started doing martial arts. Martial arts taught me that I could get better at stuff, that I wasn't really a loser. I just was someone who was in a fucked up situation. But you could channel all that energy that you have as a young person into something and get better at it. And then all of a sudden people admired me. I was like, this is crazy. So I went from being someone who was incredibly insecure and basically a failure to someone who was really successful at this one thing that was very dangerous, that other people were scared of. And that gave me immense confidence and also a real understanding of the direction.
And the biggest thing I see getting in the way is your fucking feelings. Your feelings. Where there's a will, there's a way. When you've got air in your lungs, then you have no excuse. It's just a matter of perspective. You're either gonna be a fucking sheep, or you're gonna be a lion. You're gonna be an attacker and a go-getter. But if you want to sit there and cry and moan and whine all the fucking time while you can't, then you sit your ass on that bench with the losers and you stay there. But don't expect me to turn around and pat you on the back and say, hey, good job for being a fucking quitter. You have to do something about it.
Either getting better or you're getting worse. You're sure as no not staying the same.
A conversation's coming. A conversation's you versus you. You know, our black goes off. It's time to get after it. Stay home. Stay fuck. Get sick up. Life ain't about medals, certificates, houses, money, cars, fame, all that bullshit. It's about scars. The scars show your willingness to get to the other side. They show your failures. They show your willingness to start from scratch. They show what you're willing to do to go the distance. They see what you're capable of. Everybody's living up the hope factor. They hope the water's never cold. They hope the weather's good. I don't live off that hope shit. I wish the water was cold. I wish the fucking rain. When the end is unknown and the distance is unknown, that's when you know who the fuck you are.
I want to know what the I'm made of. I want to know what I can overcome. And I know that the harder the obstacle to overcome, the more strength I'm going to gain from it.
It's about taking personal responsibility for your life. It's about no more excuses. It's about no more trials and tribulations getting in your way. It's about getting up as early as you need to. It's about doing whatever it takes.
King uncommon amongst uncommon people. And that's the warrior way. Know who you are. What do you want to be? Without a shadow of a doubt.
Whatever it takes.
Nothing happens until something moves. Nothing is going to happen in your life until you get up and start moving.
There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed. And you have to create it. It has to be false. Because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit. And that's the reality of it.
If your definition of success is win or lose, giving everything you've got and growing or learning along the way, then you're setting yourself up for success. I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never quit, in the end you will succeed.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life. To achieve your dreams. That's not always open.
Everybody wants the prize, but nobody loves the process. Everybody wants to be a champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody is willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. I love the thought of working for what I want. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it. Your expectations are never supposed to exceed your effort. But a lot of people, they wish, and they're not willing to work. And the great thing about life has a funny way of testing all of us and seeing how bad we really want what it is that we say we want. When you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. That's why cats can give up so easy. They ain't got nothing invested. But when a cat work for something, like when a cat been sacrificed for something, well, you gonna have a cold day in hell before you take it from him.
You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great, really, and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. You think you become a champion on the field? You don't. You become a champion when ain't nobody watching you. You're doing your own drills in your own way. You're doing what coach tell you to do, and you're doing your own stuff. You become a champion in the dark when ain't nobody looking. You don't become no champion when you put no doggone helmet on. You become a champion the way you eat. You become a champion the way you think. You become a champion in your grind. When nobody knows what you're doing, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet. There are only 86,400 seconds in a day. And you gotta not only operate in them, you gotta do it quick. You gotta do it fast. You gotta do it in a hurry. Why? Because there's somebody else who's on the same track you on. Somebody else, they're on the same path that you are. It's somebody else just like you trying to do it. And sometimes they're working just as hard as you're working. They're putting in just as much sweat, just as much tears, just as much blood. But you just gotta do it what? You gotta do it faster than they do it. You gotta do it quicker than they do it. Are you listening to what I'm telling you? That's why I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, because if you're getting up at 6, you might be smarter than me. You might have more privilege than me. You might have more resources than me. You might, but I'm gonna get up earlier than you, and I'm gonna do it faster than you do it. So by the time you get up with all your resources, by the time you get up with all your privilege, by the time you get up with all your stuff, I've already finished the race. Are you hearing me? It's hard. Yup, it's hard. Yup, it's difficult. Yup, why? Because the process is weeding out the weak. It's weeding out the weak. And so sometimes you got to play hard. You got to play physical. You got to play tough. Listen to me. This is how you do it over 6-7 years ago with no money, no human resources, no building, no funding, no support. The first thing we did was we dreamed. We wrote the dream down. We slept the dream. We ate the dream. We rehearsed the dream. We looked at the dream. We talked about the dream. We slept with the dream. We woke up to the dream. We wore the dream. And now, boom, it's our reality. Real. It's tangible.
Patience, the thing that goes beyond hustle and hard work. The discipline of patience, the thing that goes beyond hustle and hard work. right? Because we all talk about hustle. We talk about working hard. We talk about grinding, this, that, and the third, but nobody talks to you about patience. Nobody speaks about that patience, because in the patience, that's where you're going to make it or you're going to break. The discipline of patience, right? Because when you're not patient, you can make a lot of mistakes, man. Like I told you, the quote said, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap. You judge each day by the seeds that you sow, right? When you sow a seed, you got to be what? Oh, you got to be patient.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this.
Many of you will not be successful because you've got this giant goal and no steps to go with it. You're just in your mind like, this is my year. How many steps? I don't know. What is it going to take for you to do it? I don't know. I just know this is my year. Can I be real with you? If you can't measure it, it ain't real. I had to give something up to go up. What do you give up? Do you not watch TV? That's your problem. You getting to watch TV and not make money and still survive. What do you sacrifice? The reason why you broke is because you're getting a reward and you ain't working.
Having esteem for yourself only occurs when you put yourself on the line and you do something that's incredibly difficult on a regular basis. That's where pride comes from, something that's earned.
So there are people who want stuff, but you kind of want it.
I get sick and tired of people telling me how bad they want it, yet their actions don't back up that statement.
Obsession is wanting something so bad that I go to bed with, I wake up to it, I make whatever sacrifice, I grind, I can't live without it. You gonna get anything, you will have to pay the price. There is a price tag to greatness. You will have to work for every single thing you get. The only thing you do for success, there's no discounts. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. You can't get 50% off. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking there are, and stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn. I dare you to try to shortcut success. It's not going to happen. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. The only way you can get to it is through it.
Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anybody else expects of you. Never excuse yourself.
Don't fool yourself into thinking that this year is going to be better than last year if you're still making excuses. There are no excuses. You cannot cheat success. You got to work for it. You got to breathe it. You got to sleep it. You got to eat it. You got to put forth 120%. When you go out there, I need you to have that dog. When you get out there, I need you kill or be killed when you get out there. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Because there's somebody out there who wants your spot. You're not the only one trying to go to Yale. You're not the only one trying to go to Harvard. You're not the only one trying to go to the NBA. You're not the only one trying to go to the NFL. And so you gotta embody excellence. It only take one extra push-up. It only take one extra mile. It only take one extra grade. It only takes one extra effort. It only takes one extra something to get you to where you're trying to get to.
A new outfit doesn't make you a new person. And if you think you are magically going to be a new person, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because new life comes from a new mind and a new way of looking at your life.
Keep your dreams phenomenal. Keep your vision phenomenal. And now I need you to get your weight up. I need you to get your schedule up. I need you to get your life up. I need you to get your action up. I need you to get to a place that every single thing that you do is phenomenal, so that the life you want to live, you can actually live that life.
There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might happen. And that's what people don't know. But to get there, luck ain't gonna happen.
You have to put yourself in that situation, man. It takes a lot of work.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough.
Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so it looks like this ocean that you're going to step into and drown. But as soon as you step into it, you realize it was not that deep at all, and you can keep walking through it. And I just love that visual, because a lot of times when it's like we have this anxiety around this big decision we have to make, if you actually take the step and realize that it's not death, you're not going to drown immediately. There's plenty of other steps you can take from there, even if you get a little wet.
Give a man a purpose and the ability to achieve it, and he will crawl over broken glass with a smile. And I think that feeling capable and powerful and competent and respected and admired is something that will get a man so far. You give a man those things, and he'll deal with suffering until the ends of the earth.
Here's something a guy said recently. This dude said, there's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever. That guy was you that said that. And it's important when we step out of this. Like, this stuff matters because no one's effing coming to save you.
You were there. You know this. There was no one there to pick up the rucksack, to pick up the boat, to pick up the log, to go in there. It was you. It was you. There was no pat in the back at 300, at 275, at 250, at 220. No, that was you. There was no fame. It was you. There was no weight loss program or mom and dad waking you up saying you can do it, you can be better, trying to build belief. You built belief when you had nothing. Rock bottom.
Why do you keep crying? Why me, God? Why did I get MS? Why did I get cancer? Why did my mama die? Why did I get fired? Do you understand? Listen, you got put through that because what that does, that tension produces greatness. Stop running from it and run to it. Stop telling me what you're going through. The greats, they get to it, they go through it. And the harder it is, the better. Now listen to me. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you alive, you can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostrils move, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You're analyzing too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if it's going to work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. And I just need you to keep going. Get emotional if you must. Cry if you must. Get it out. But get your butt back up after you finish crying and put a time limit on the crying. You say, Coach, I need 30 minutes. Don't take it. But when you come back after that 31 minutes, you better cry. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. And some of you are not successful because every single time you run up against a trial, every time you run up against a tribulation, you stop and you cut off beast mode. And what I'm here to tell you is, if you tell that thing, I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it. What will you do with your pain? Will you let it break you, or will you let it redefine you?
Just shut up and let me enjoy this pain. I don't want anything to numb it. I don't want anything right now. Because what I had done was in my mind, I had just climbed a mental wall that was amazing.
You need to love pain to be an athlete. And I know no pain, no this, whatever, all the correct. No, this is real. You need to love pain. However, mentally, physically, love it. You need to love it. If not, stay where you are.
Heroes and villains always have the same backstory. Pain. The difference is what they choose to do about it. Villain says, the world hurt me, I'll hurt it back. The hero says, the world hurt me, I'm not going to let it hurt anybody else. Heroes use pain. Villains are used by it.
Pain is a motivator. Pain is not necessarily always bad.
If you're in pain, it's going to motivate you to move, to change something.
And I didn't want anybody to take that pain away from me at that point, because that was all confirmation. What it did was it showed me what is possible. And that's what set the new stage for me. That's when I realized, oh man, I've really been underachieving my entire life.
Pick up your damn suffering and bear it. And try to be a good person so you don't make it worse. You know, I read a lot about the terrible things that people have done to each other. You just cannot even imagine it.
The problem is, you ain't never felt no pain before. You're soft. It's a soft generation. You quit on everything. Our people did not quit. Harriet Tubman not only made it, she went back and got some more. She said, you know what, I made it, but I'm going to walk listen to me, shh, not ride the bus. I'm going to walk all the way back down to the South to get some more. And you quitting on 1825? Now watch this. You quit after listen to me, you get a sleeping bag and you wait for them. You wait for the first WRA instructor to come in and you come out your sleeping bag, I need help. You quit after you do that. You quit after you had, listen to me, a WRA party. I'm having a party. Everybody come over. I got food, everything. And let them get over there. Let it be all the best writers. All right, I fooled y'all. I want to have a writing party. I'm serious. You quit and you ain't even tried yet.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts. Most of us don't like to do those things that come easy to us. I've always loved to talk to people. I decided, taking this advice, to develop my skills as a speaker. And my gift has developed and it's taken me many places. You have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing, this is what I do well.
It's 44 degrees and it's nice and rainy outside. But no one cares about that. But guess what? You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day of your life. No matter what life throws at you. It's our responsibility to show up to the Coliseum of life, prepared for fucking battle. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. It's your responsibility to find your new 100%. Take it upon yourself to do that. Stay hard.
My greatest asset is I was homeless, so I can't feel a whole lot of pain. I've already been alone. Not a whole lot of hurt I can feel on a little paper, on a little test. So I leave you, listen to me. We have gotten to a point where it's midterms and we're moving forward. The days of you getting money, I'm not saying we quitting, but I'm saying the day has got to go from external to internal. Don't worry about a little pain.
The price of progress is pain. Most people do not want to experience pain. They like comfort.
You got to pay a price for winning. But most people aren't willing to pay it. They may pay it once, but literally you got to pay it every single day. And the crazy part about that is the price changes daily.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt.
Daily. Accept
the miserable.
Smile.
You're going to fail. You know, and that's what makes you. That's what shapes you.
Imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life.
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem.
Look in the mirror. It's you versus you.
Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt.
Sometimes your motivation needs to be because no one else wants to do it. As many teachers, we also need the savages.
Thing out there right now is for the taking. If you are willing to go out there and grind and work hard, you know, you got these people that don't want to go to work.
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing.
Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
But you can't be lazy and make it. Everybody's great when they're not tired. The champions is when they're tired, that's when the real champions come out.
People often talk about being happy, and what they do is they talk about being happy in the same way a child in their very giddyish Christmas morning happiness. You know, like, I'm happy, I'm happy. That's never going to be long lasting. That's going to be temporary. If you were like that all the time, you wouldn't even get anything done, right? You wouldn't even be a mature adult. So the idea that you're out here searching for that feeling permanently is asinine and it's immature. That is certainly happy, sure. But I've changed the paradigm of where happiness is. For me, anything above distraught is happy. Besides 3 or 4 monumentally destructive events that are going to happen throughout my life, like a loss of a family member or something, unless I really, really feel down, I'm happy. So if I wake up, it's not I'm thinking if I'm happy or not. If I'm not devastated, I'm happy. It's black or white. If it's not black, it's white. So even if I wake up and I'm furious and I'm stressed and I'm pissed off and I got much to do, I'm still happy. I've decided I'm happy. My happiness barrier isn't this little giddyish at the top. My happiness is everything besides feeling distraught. That's how I've designed it in my mind.
But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey. Several people live to be 100 years old and they have great lives. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better life was going to the right side. And you may have 20 years of pain and suffering to get past it, but a lot of us die never truly starting our journey.
Danger, risk, pain, suffering. Those are the things.
Triumph over.
Oh, exactly. So you say, oh, should I build a personal brand? Well, can you? And if you can, then perhaps you should consider it.
I wanted you to go home that night after you beat the living out of me, and I smiled in your face. I wanted you to feel worse than I did, and you were going home to a nice warm bed with your wife or your kids and a nice meal, and I was still out there in the grip. I wanted you to think about me, knowing that I'm comfortable, being very uncomfortable.
I would rather die than be that loser guy. Think about that. Do you want to walk out that door a damn loser, or do you want to walk out the door a winner?
Build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You were able to hear all your past traumas. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays. In their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself.
That's what's painful, is that it takes more effort to start in the beginning, and more people are right about the fact they're like, hey, you're not going to hit it big. And guess what? A month in, you're not. But they're only measuring on months, and it's 6 months and you're measuring in decades.
Show me a trust fund kid that inherited a bunch of money, and I'll show you someone mentally tortured. Having stuff isn't fun. Getting stuff is fun, right? It's not the pursuit of happiness. It's the happiness of the pursuit, right? It's that thing. And it's not like, you know, the self-help. It's not the journey. It's the destination. It's not either the journey or the destination. It's who you become on the journey.
I'm a good person. I got a good heart. I treat people with respect. Ultimately, I want the most that I can possibly get out of life. I love to love. I'm a good dude. Am I perfect? No. I got some of them imperfections over there. I got some of the ones from over here, from mom and dad. Okay, that's life.
The easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to. We have to continue to hold on. And I would imagine for so many people out there, that is probably the most difficult thing.
You can achieve the absolute impossible. You don't need great parents. You don't need like a private school. You don't need to have this humongous GPA and all this other shit. What you need is the one thing I talked about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic.
You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
Everything comes from the imagination. So the power of the mind, people don't understand. We still don't understand. I still don't understand how powerful it is. I'm still learning. But I know one thing is I can make things happen.
Your mind is but a magnet for what you want.
Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
If you don't come in and treat every day as game day, you're going to never be ready for game day. Every practice, Michael always said, I practice so hard so the games are easy.
If you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
Remember this, is that people are time wasters, and the great majority of people have no goals, they have no priorities, they have no plans, they have no concern about becoming successful, and they think that you're the same. They think because their time isn't worth anything, that your time isn't worth anything also.
Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better.
When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. It's real.
And I believe that when you know where you're going and you know what you want, the universe has a way of stepping aside for you.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
As long as you have a lot of determination and willpower, that's all you need. And you have to have the will to win.
If you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is, I can work harder than I'm working right now. The truth is, I can do more for my family. The truth is, I can do much better than I'm doing right now. And if that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
Remember, it's not what you have, but what you do with what you have that separates winners from losers. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to what happens to you that counts. The Greek philosopher Epictetus once said that circumstances do not make the man or woman. They merely reveal him to himself. Your response to the adversity of life is the real measure of who you are and what you're made of.
And you were expecting nice weather and shit, but it's 20 degrees. So, you might be somewhere where it's too fucking hot. So, you might have sore legs, sore back, sore shoulder. So, the struggle is real. It never gets any easier. You gotta get harder.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Really was. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up.
You see this guy here staring back at you? Yeah? That's your toughest opponent. Every time you get into the ring, that's who you're going against.
Great things happen and really bad things happen. And you got to take it all in stride. And you got to pick yourself up the next day, strap your shoes back on and get out there and go to war again.
A better person. You'll have a better understanding of yourself. You'll have a better understanding of your purpose. But if you don't take that trip and the darkness comes visit you, it's a guest that will never leave.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. The thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.
Is that when it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life, and that I can't do.
There's not a
Okay, that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. Hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger.
I didn't half-ass it. I went all the way. I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet.
What could have happened?
Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
A lot of people are very, very, very ambitious with their words and very, very, very unambitious with their actions. And that's what ends up costing them everything that they want.
He said success is the only revenge. He's like, it's not the best revenge. He's like, it's the only one. There's no other revenge.
Like, from the bottom of my heart, if you know you need to make it, you will make it. But you need to commit to making it.
Which is what I think a lot of it boils down to. Do you actually want to do this or not? Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason. It becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path.
I'm exactly where I wanted to be because I realized I got to commit my very being to this thing.